is going to go for about 2 hours, probably a little bit less. And we really want to acknowledge you for investing the time to actually be here. You could have been doing many other things. We know it is a Wednesday evening. It's, traditionally for those of us that work, a hump day. And technically, it's really tempting to just do not very much, sit around, have a coffee and a tea, hang out with your friends, etc. But you made it here today. And so, in order for yourself to really be present and to acknowledge your own time, we really encourage you to stay present, keep your cameras on, answer questions, lean in, and really respect your own time because, that's our precious, most precious commodity. And so, we want to make sure that we give you the most amount of value by ensuring that we can connect, all together. Now, it is okay for you to take pictures. So, Alicia might be sharing some really cool information. So, please feel free to either take a photo with your phone or to take screenshots. But we do encourage you not to audio or screen record. That is obviously Alicia's IP. So this is going to be a yes, we're going to be good. We're going to take screenshots. We're not going to do any audio or video recording. Yeah. Good, 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 good. And we are going to lean in. Great. So let's make sure that we do stay connected before the end of this. Let's make sure that we do find Dr. Gratitude on your favorite social media platform and give Dr. Gratitude a thumbs up, a like, and a follow. That is Alicia Wade for those of you who do not yet know that. And speaking of Dr. Alicia Wade, I'm going to introduce you to your facilitator for this evening. It is evening for everybody online here today. Sometimes we have people from like the other side of the world, and for them it's morning, but this is a beautiful, beautiful evening. So today, our speaker is an award-winning international keynote speaker and the founder of the Gratitude Method. She is here to show us how gratitude can be a transformational tool in leadership, in business, and life, helping you unlock personal power, elevate your energy, and lead with heart while creating meaningful success. Told she would never amount to much, after falling through the cracks of life, she defied every label and expectation, from hitting rock bottom to becoming an international best-selling author of over 30 books. Multiple business award winner, TEDx speaker, and the CEO of several, not just one, several thriving businesses. She is living proof that gratitude isn't just a feel good word, it's a force for unstoppable resilience and results. She's shared the stages with some of the world's world class leaders, guided CEOs and everyday people to turn their mess into their message and help people from all walks of life reconnect with their purpose through the power of gratitude. Please welcome Dr. Gratitude, the founder of the Gratitude Method, Alicia Ann Wade. Woo! Give her a round of applause. Woo!
Alicia, you're muted. Alicia, you're muted.
She can't hear you either. Alicia?
Alicia, you're on mute.
You're muted.
Here we go. It helps to unmute. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I just want to take the time to say thank you to Anna and to the team for organizing the back end of this amazing event. Getting an event together is no easy walk in the park. There's many moving parts. And between traveling and meeting up with clients, networking, and then having my own leisurely activities, right now I am in Bali. So for those that don't know, I've extended my stay here in Bali, and it's been a very interesting journey, ups and downs and all in betweens, breakthroughs, messes, success, celebrations, birthday celebrations too. And I just want to take the time for the team helping me and coming together to make this go live right now. So thank you, Anna. It's absolutely amazing to work beside you and with you and go on this journey with you, with the team as well. It's been phenomenal. So this is what can come true. And 6 years of chasing my dreams and just being grateful. Over the years, I got into coaching in 2018, and I decided I wanted to make a big difference in the community. And from there, I started off with a simple gratitude journal, which, if you have not known my story, those that do, I am going to repeat maybe a little bit of my story. But in 2018, I decided to create a gratitude journal on the 25th of December, so Christmas Day. And I wanted to help people to feel happier. And internally, I wanted to be happier too. From 2015 to 2018, I was seeking happiness and what could give peace, love, joy, and gratitude. And gratitude journaling was one of those keys for me to have fulfillment, life satisfaction, optimism, love, hope, and peace. And so I created this journal. Cost me $59.95 to make, but I was selling them for $49.95. So I was losing money already and going, oh my gosh, what do I do? And how does Kmart and all of these places sell them for like $3? So I went on a massive journey, book writing journey. I then created Be Outstanding, which is on the screen at the moment. That was my first book. And that was, I wanted to get my story out of my head. I had a massive message and I wanted to share what I had gone through, because when I started to talk to people in the coaching world, they're like, man, you've gone through some really significant things in your life. You need to share this with people. People are going to resonate with your story. And so when I published that and I went on stage in 2020 on International Women's Day at the Neighbourhood Centre, I realized that I had a message to share. And I know I can see some participants here right now, and I'm pretty sure that one of you were there when I did my first talk. And it was there that I said, thanks, Teresa, exactly who I was talking about. And it was there that I realized that there's a message to the mess that I had. Even though I went through such tragedy, there was triumph. Through the test, there's a testimony. And this is now what I do with other people. It's been about, the last collaborative book that I did was back in 2023, and that was Self-Love, Loving Your Soul. And I was able to have the opportunity to do 3 collaborative books over a year and a half with 60 authors in 5 countries, and then distribute over 1,000 books within those books to 12 different countries. So the power of sharing your story in a collaborative approach means that you go to audiences, not only just in your audience, but to others. And this is where I find collaborative books can be really powerful. And it's what you do with the book to get your message out, for you to make those ripples, and where you actually want to go, what can be possible for you. So with further ado, I'm actually going to go into the 3 pillars of self-leadership, because this is what we're talking about. This is what I want to bring people as a collective together. As a leader in many different niches, many different industries, I've worked 20 years in early childhood education and care. I've also worked in the fitness industry, and I've also worked as a business consultant and also in the coaching world, coaching coaches right across the world. And what I realized through my own leadership journey and working in politics as well is, when you need to lead communities, you also need to lead yourself so you can show up no matter what. Now, right now, let's just say about 12 hours ago, I was probably hugging the toilet. So I'm going to call the elephant in the room. I was pretty sick this morning. And I've still managed to manage myself and still show up and come here to share this message, because this message is really important for people here. And I know you guys have come here for a reason, for a purpose. You're curious and you want to see what's actually possible for you as well. I always say everyone has a story and a message, and that message needs to be shared on different platforms. And this can be a way of having that stepping stone for you to share that story. Now, I'll be sharing some testimonies, and I do have a guest speaker coming in today who's on the call right now, Terry, and we'll be talking and having a bit of an interview. And I also have a video as well to show what has happened for some of the people that have come into proximity and what has happened, and share some of the Facebook posts and the stories that have been shared right across the world. All right, are you guys ready to get into the 3 pillars of self-leadership? Put your hands up if you really want to learn this right now. Put your hands up. Excellent, fabulous. All right, let's get into it. So the 3 pillars of self-leadership. Pillar 1 is lead, master yourself. 2 is leverage. So this is leveraging using your story. And number 3 is legacy, which is leaving your mark. And I'm going to delve a little bit deeper into these 3 pillars with you. And you might see that maybe a story resonates with you in some of these points. And if some of these points do resonate with you, I would love to take the opportunity to have a conversation after this to see if your story would be beneficial for this book in the 3 pillars that we've got here. So in pillar 1, it's all about leading. So it's mastering yourself. So it's how to lead yourself before you lead others. What do you do so you can fill up your cup? We always say, there's that saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. So what are the routines, the rituals, the habits? What have you had to overcome to lead yourself? Were you a people pleaser before and now you realize that the people pleasing and showing up for others and pouring into their cups wasn't sustainable, that now you know that you need to pour into your cup before pouring into others? Do you have a special routine that you do in the morning that will allow others, a special routine in the morning that helps you so you can show up every single day? Then there's also the mindset shifts to break through procrastination, fear, and people pleasing. And I just spoke about people pleasing. But what sorts of things have you had to overcome so you're not procrastinating, so you are showing up, so you are taking the action? Because most leaders take action. Those that follow usually have to be told what to do. It's like in any company, you've got your CEOs, you've got your employees. The employees usually take the lead of the leaders and delegate and listen to the delegations that are being given to other people. And then embody self-leadership to show up with clarity and confidence. So I'll give an example. Confidence, that's something that is built over time, and it's a muscle that we're building all the time. I still have areas where I don't feel confident. Surprisingly, a lot of people say that I'm very confident, but there are still parts of me that are not confident. And it's about facing that fear and doing it anyway. So have there been fears in your life and you've taken the action to then build that confidence to embody more self-leadership and show others that they can truly do this and that it is possible? And then that way it gives other people opportunities so they can grow too. Are you that person who is inspiring to your communities and setting the tone and the standards on what it's like to be a leader in your community? What do you do that's your special talent or gift that allows others to go, wow, you're so inspiring. How do you do what you do? And so I'll let that sit with you guys with pillar 1. You may see a lot of yourself in all 3 of those areas, but which one really resonates with you? And I'll let you think about that right now. In pillar 2 is all about leverage. So it's using your story. This is my favorite one because it's how you turn your lived experience into a personal brand. And most of you know me in this room. I've used a lot of my personal brand, a lot of my lived experience, a lot of my story to get me to where I am right now. Sometimes it's been at the detriment of it, and sometimes it's been to the celebrations. In 2021, I ran for federal government. A lot of people do know this. And unfortunately, because I published the book Be Outstanding, which was my personal story, there were excerpts out of that that was used against me because I was not deemed fit for federal government. And so I say this to you, if you want to share your story, there are going to be some communities that accept it and some communities that won't accept it. And are you ready to rise and share that story? I've gone into community groups, the Harvey Bay Neighbourhood Centre. Tanya Stevenson, the CEO there, she has been, I want to give my biggest thanks and gratitude, because she has been one of the pinnacle people who has helped elevate me and my story with getting me into the spaces like International Women's Day and speaking for their big events, and then doing women's circles and sharing my story in spaces where women have gone through similar things and similar journeys of what I've been on. And this is where it can be celebrated. And I still share my personal story right now, because I know that whatever I go through, whatever I heal, there are other people that need to hear that message. Gosh, I've even put up my hand in the middle of a Tony Robbins event and being coached on with 9,000 people in the room on my top limiting belief. And I remember when I put my hand up, I was like going, oh my gosh, I want to remember my other 2 limiting beliefs, but I couldn't remember it. And it was so quick that I had to say what my top limiting belief was. I was so scared, so fearful, but after the breakthrough for it was that there was hundreds and thousands of people who were going through the same story and the same limiting belief that was holding them back to embrace love and connection with others. They thought they were cursed too, and they saw parts of my story in them too and said, thank you. Some people even said, thank you. Now I know how to interact with my girlfriend more. And so by you stepping up and speaking up, it allows you to connect on a much deeper level. How deep you want to go, it's truly up to you. And it is scary. It's been scary the whole time for me, for myself. I remember when I went first on an international platform at the Coaching Institute at their ICG conference online, and there was people tuning in from about, I think it was about 15 countries. And I was shaking like a Tickle Me Elmo. Who here knows what a Tickle Me Elmo is? Put your hands up. I was shaking so much, my heart palpitating. And what my mind was actually thinking was, if I go up here, my body is going to explode. I actually imagine, my mind is very imaginative and very creative. And so I was imagining my body parts all over exploding because I was going up on stage speaking. So I have had those fears. Now when I come on stages, it's a lot easier. Coming here, it feels like I'm hanging out with friends now. But it took that repetition and practice to continue to show up, because I know that my story matters and I know it's important. And if you feel this way too, maybe it's time to start sharing that story on platforms too and get your message out, because your story does matter. With leveraging as well, when you leverage your story, you set yourself up for more speaking gigs, more business opportunities, or becoming an author. Later here, I'll share with you some of the opportunities that people have had as a result of coming in collaborative books with me. And I've watched them skyrocket. I've watched, in particular, Natasha, I can't remember her last name, Manson, there we go. Natasha Manson, who is a holistic healer, a trauma-informed holistic healer down in Tasmania. When I first coached her, she couldn't even charge for what she was providing for people. She didn't have the confidence. But we worked on confidence. We worked on her money blocks. We worked on building that confidence to say, hey, it started off with charging $50 right at the very beginning, and this would have been in 2020. She's now running women's groups and retreats for over $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. And it's through building up, sharing her story continually, like, you know, that compound effect to rise and rise up. And the opportunities that have occurred for her, she's won awards herself. And she's also partnered up with people to do some phenomenal healing work within her community. You also get to have tools to package your wisdom into authority positioning. So through this chapter, there's probably some sort of process, some sort of steps, something that's helped you to be who you need to be, and it needs to be shared on this platform. And then we have pillar 3, which is legacy, leaving your mark. So how to make an impact beyond just income. Yes, it's great to have the income going and coming through. We all need to live. But the impact, the why are you doing it? When you have a big enough why, everything else will fall into place. And what does it take to leave a lasting imprint through your message? There may be things that you've had to overcome, facing your fears, getting coaching, going to a speaker coach, seeing a business coach, seeing someone in social media, someone in marketing, whatever that is for you, what it's actually taken you to get you into the spot of influence in your communities. People want to know, how did you get to that legacy point where you've made that legacy in your communities so people follow, people opt into what it is that you do? Because there's still plenty of coaches and other small businesses that go, how do you get your paying clients? How do you do this? I know when I started in my career of coaching, I didn't even know, because I worked as an employee, my mind couldn't comprehend how to get my first paying client. It didn't make sense because I worked in corporate. So everybody came to our premises and purchased. So when I heard all these stories of people selling like $10,000 programs and stuff, it like mind boggled me. But I learned a system and I learned the steps through my coaching institutes and my business coaches and through other mentors who helped me along the way. And I give those step-by-step processes to my clients so they can build and scale their businesses too. Whether it's through networking, Facebook posts, reels, I always tell all of my clients to do reels and videos. The power of them is phenomenal. Some of my videos and my outreach right now, I'm getting anywhere between 250 to 500K. It's a bit of a roller coaster ride on Facebook, depending on what the algorithms want to do and what I actually post. When I do my business ones, the algorithms, I get it to a certain point. But if I'm doing my fun, fun adventure stuff, boom, it goes through, and then more people start to follow, and then they see what it is that I do. And I've also had the amazing opportunity and the honor to be awarded top 5 influencer in Hervey Bay through our local newspaper, where people voted for particular members. It still blows my mind that, yes, I was awarded that. And I'm very grateful for that opportunity to have such an influence on young members of the community up to older members of the community. And also how to become a published author and position yourself as a go-to leader. When you become an author, and I'll never forget the day my mentor who helped me publish my book said, your life will never be the same once you publish a book. People are going to look at you in a different light. And it's been that way since. The opportunities, the connections, the messages that I get, and the messages I still get today on people reading some of my stories. I also have a market stall that I set up at Hervey Bay in Uranga, and people will purchase my books from right across the world. I meet so many people that come internationally, but that's another way of getting that out and creating that legacy and having that impact to people all around. So why does this actually matter, and why is it important? The world needs more real stories and more real leaders. One of the things that I always hear from people when I have conversations is, Alicia, you're so real, you're so authentic, and you're not fake. You just are who you are. We have now AI coming in at full force. We have videos that are manipulated with AI. So people don't know who to trust and not trust. And so it's about you becoming that authentic leader and showing up as your authentic self. People want to see people. People connect with real people. And this is the impact that you can do for your communities too. Your life lessons as well can be someone else's survival guide. I know through me overcoming DV has helped thousands of women. I've been president for a safe home and helped home many women. I think when I was president in 2022, I helped over 20 women who were subjected to homelessness, mental health issues, and homelessness. I've also helped and created a charity in my local community called Women's Walk and Talk, where thousands of women have come together in our community just as a simple walk and talk exercise on Monday afternoons and Thursday mornings. And I'm so grateful that the legacy is still living on. I've been in Bali for 5 weeks now, and they're still meeting up and connecting together. So there's a need and a want for people to connect and come together in their communities. Loneliness is an epidemic. So if we can bring communities together to break loneliness, isolation, people breaking up from marriages, divorce rates are at alarming rates at the moment, suicide too, people have loved ones lost. I know through Women's Walk and Talk, we've had a lot of widows come through, young and old. It's not just older people, it's young people too. And it's connecting people together so then that way they can form friendships, they can form connections. And this is why it matters. And this is also your chance to be seen, heard, and be published in a very simple and effective way. So instead of trying to write a whole book, you get the chance to write a chapter, which can be anywhere between 2,500 words up to 4,000 words on what it is that you do. So I'd like to hand it over to one of my great friends, she has been in a couple of my collaborative books. I'm pretty sure Gratitude, Journey of the Soul, and Forgiveness, Healing of the Soul. Terry Tonkin is an international best-selling author. She's also a ghostwriter and a life coach who brings untold stories to life. Through her work with Connect Within, she helps others feel seen, heard, and supported with a passion for memoir, well-being, and personal development. Terry empowers women to own their truth and share their message with heart, depth, and purpose. A lifelong learner and a traveler. Right now, I'm pretty sure she is traveling. She can tell you where she's at right now. She believes every change maker has a story worth telling. Can we please give a round of applause and welcome to the stage, Terry?
Hello.
Hello. So where are you tuning in from right now?
At the moment, I'm sitting in my caravan in Yeppoon, just outside of Rockhampton in Queensland. So,
Yes. And where do you currently reside?
in Brisbane.
Yeah. And so tell me, firstly, thank you. It's been a wonderful journey. And I have to say, like, you're one of my close friends now, being on this journey.
Thank you.
We've known each other for now 5, 6 years.
Yeah, about probably of each other through our coaching, but actually really connected with gratitude.
Yeah.
When we did
And then it just skyrocketed. So I know you've been a part of many collaborative books, and I know that it's served a lot of opportunities for people. So tell everybody here about your journey and what books have done for you, and a bit of your background as well.
Okay. I'm a country girl. I was born down on the New South Wales-Queensland border, so very much a country girl. And with Dad's work, we moved around in that southwest, Western Queensland area for many years. We had no TV. We would listen to the radio quite regularly, but I was very fortunate. Mum and Dad encouraged me at a very early age to learn to read and continue to read. And to this day, I am still an avid reader. As a child, one of my dreams was to write my own book. I'm a bit of a slow learner in that respect because it took me to the age of 60 to actually write my first book. And that book was called My Time to Shine, Your Voice, Your Choice, Your Life. And that was my memoir. And one of the reasons I wrote it then was because I'd run out of excuses as to why I hadn't written it. And the other reason was my mum was in care and I wanted my mum to be able to read it before the dementia took her beyond being able to. So there were a couple of reasons. Another reason I wanted to write the book was to leave a legacy for my granddaughters, because my book talks about the roles and the responsibilities that we have through life, and that as a girl, particularly in my time, girls were slotted into girl jobs, not boy jobs. And I wanted my granddaughters to know that they could choose where they wanted to take their life and what they wanted to do with their life. So a couple of reasons for writing that first book. I self-published with the help of a mentor, and I got the bug. The next year I was invited into a compilation book and I wrote a chapter. And the next year I wrote 2 chapters for 2 compilation books, and it started to snowball from there. At this stage, I have 2 books of my own, My Time to Shine, and I published a second book last year called Happiness, Your Choice to Choose 100 Plus Ways. I lost a brother to suicide many, many years ago, and as a result of that, I went on a journey of personal development and finding out why there was an epidemic of unhappiness. Through my learnings, through conversations, through working with clients as a coach, I'm so unhappy. I don't know where to find it. How can I find happiness? You don't find happiness, you choose happiness. And that's what I've done with that book. So yes, I've been in, I think it's 20 compilation books now, in the process of writing for 2 more. As I said, I've got the bug. In 2021, through my writing and that period of pandemic, I decided to offer my services as a ghostwriter. And through my writing of the compilation books, I can use that as leverage as to my credibility, as to my ability, as to my empathy and support for anybody who wants to write a story. And as Alicia said, everybody has a story to tell, whether you think you do or you don't, you do, trust me. And if one person can be impacted by your story, you've left a legacy. So that's one of the beauties of writing a chapter. But as a ghostwriter,
sorry. I said I love that.
As a ghostwriter, I help other people share their stories, because I know, it took me till 60. I had a list of excuses as to why I didn't, why I couldn't, why I hadn't, until I ran out of excuses. So as a ghostwriter, I step in and help people overcome those excuses and get their story written, because it's their story and they become a published author. Yeah.
Thanks, Terry. And then in terms of, because you've been a part of 2 of the collaborations that I've created in my little world, big little whatever you want to call it.
In your little kingdom.
There we go. I like that. How would you describe the process of writing a book? Is it easy? Is it hard? How did you find the process?
When I wrote my first book, it was that fear that nobody will listen, nobody's interested, nobody will read it, I'll be ridiculed, I'll be criticized, I'll be judged. All of those sorts of things come into play. I personally found that once I got into flow, I'd found my spot. Doing compilation books, the beauty of that is that you've only got to write 4,000 words. I'm very fortunate. I finished a chapter for a compilation book today. I wrote about 3,000 words today because I needed to get it done. I'm fortunate in that respect. Not everybody does that, but one of the things my very first mentor told me when I was writing my first book was to set up a space where you could go to write. Go into that space every day for 15 minutes. If nothing happens, get up and walk away. But if something happens, let it flow, let it go. But get into that routine, get into that space of I'm writing, I'm a writer, and let it go. But do 15 minutes a day for 30 days and you've got 15,000 words. It can be
love
that
that.
easy.
I love that. And it just goes to show when you set aside time, because sometimes I do see people, they leave it to the last minute. I've helped over 60 people write their chapters. And I do have those that procrastinate. And sometimes with those that do procrastinate, I go, right. And they go, oh, I'm not going to be in the book anymore. I don't have the time to write. I'm like, right, let's hop on a call. Let's write your chapter together and let's get this message out.
Yeah.
And sometimes, and Terry's a great ghostwriter. So if anyone does need someone to help them, Terry is your go-to to get that message out as well.
Thank you.
And we've worked together with this as well. And when you have someone by your side holding your hand to get it out, all of a sudden those 3,000, 4,000 words come out and it's like a waterfall. It flows out. It's easy. And they go, why did I take so much time to write that and leave it to the last minute? And mind you, I've gone over, I have my own system and process on, I put it into sections on when things are published. So writing the chapter, to then editing, to then formatting the book, to then publishing, and then the online and marketing. And that process is a journey. It's like a marathon.
Oh.
It's like, right?
Absolutely. But I mean, when you write, get it down. Just write it. You can write it once and you can edit it 15 times. Don't write, edit, edit, or you'll never get it done. Write it and keep writing until you think you're done, and then go back and edit it. It doesn't matter how many times it gets edited, because it's going to go through an editor anyway.
Exactly right. I see so many people, they play perfectionism or procrastination. This really tests who you are as a person, and you start to see all the limiting beliefs and all the stuff, that patterns that you play out in life, and you're going, oh, I thought I overcame perfectionism. Oh, I thought I overcame this. And it comes to surface when you are writing a chapter or writing a book. And it's a matter of setting up some systems in place so then that way you can overcome it. Now, Terry, in terms of, you have been in multiple collaborative books, what opportunities have been presented for you, and where have you actually gone with these books, and who have you interacted with, and where have you shown up in the world?
That's a good question. Through the collaborative books, I have been fortunate to work with a range of publishers. So I've worked with publishers out of Singapore. I've worked with publishers in Canada. I've worked with publishers in the States. I've worked with publishers in different states of Australia, including yourself with the 2 books. I've met probably it was about 20. So I've probably met 400 people that I would never, ever have met. And those books and my name and my story get shared with those 400 people's networks, their friends, their families. And so you become global without really even having to put yourself out into the global scene, because through those networks, that all happens. And from those networks, like I said, I've worked with a range of publishers. I've worked with a range of editors. And in a book that I did a few years ago called Get Published, I've had some of the editors and publishers and formatters refer work to me because they've had clients. And again, they've had that list of excuses as to why they haven't written. So through these collaborative books, the connections that you make, the networks that get expanded, the friendships that are made across the world. I'm currently, again, the networks. I'd been on a podcast and this lady was interviewing me. She's in Colorado, and she mentioned she wanted to publish a book. And I said, actually, I know a publisher in Colorado, and now they're publishing a book together. It was the synchronicity, and it's just beautiful the way it all falls into place. So I've spoken on, because of my books, I've spoken on podcasts. I've been published in magazines. I've attended expos, and I've spoken on stage about my books. So it takes you to a lot of places other than a computer desktop or whatever the case may be. So.
Yes. And didn't you speak at a school just recently as well? Was that this year or was that last year?
I did speak at a school, but that wasn't in relation to my writing. That was in relation to the RSL. I'm an ex-service person, a veteran, and I'm a member of our local RSL. And I spoke at a local school for Anzac Day. But as part of my writing, I did help our local RSL compile and write a book on the local military history of the Pine Rivers Shire. So that was an interesting project to be a part of as well.
Awesome. So the opportunities are pretty endless.
Yeah. I've been traveling for the last 2 weeks in a caravan. I've had 2 people contact me. As a ghostwriter, it's interesting what you get asked to write. I've had 2 people contact me and say, "Are you still writing resumes?" Yes. "Can you do a cover letter?" Yes. I've had, through the compilation book of the 2 ladies in Colorado, I offered my services as a ghostwriter for that project, and I've just had 2 people come on board. So I'm writing for 2 people for a compilation book. So I'll interview them, I'll write them, their name goes on their chapter, and they become a published author.
Love this. So last question to wrap it up. For those that are wanting to write a book, what message do you have for people out there who are thinking about writing a chapter but haven't yet made the commitment and are on the, they're on the fence? What would you like to say to someone who has the message and the story to write? What would you tell them?
Trust yourself. Take a leap of faith. Engage with support, whether it's through a ghostwriter, whether it's through a book coach, whether it's through a program like what you're offering. Do it, because somebody somewhere needs to hear your story. Yeah.
Thank you, Terry. It's always a pleasure seeing you. Glad that you've taken time, even though you're away at the moment, to pop on and share that and share your story. It's awesome seeing where you go, leaps and bounds and all of that. And it's great to see that there's still people coming through. Even though you have finished those collaborative books, people are still coming through. Yeah. And that's the power of a book, is the book never stops. It continues to sell. I still get shocked when I look at my Amazon account and like something that I published years ago is still selling.
Yeah, every now and again something will trickle through.
Yeah.
But even like you're saying, like you've spoken a couple of times now at Mind, Body, Spirit. A couple of times I've had an expo stall there to sell my books, and I've had people come to me and interested in the ghostwriting, even interested selling my books, and they're interested in the coaching. So if you don't put yourself out there, the answer will always be no.
That's exactly right. Well, thank you, Terry, for sharing your story, for coming on here, being interviewed. I really appreciate it. Very grateful. And I hope you have a beautiful evening as well. I hope it stops raining. Is it raining now?
we need to pack up a dry caravan.
Oh, thank you. All right, I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. Here we go. Let me know that you guys can all see that really, really well. Yeah? Participants can see my screen. That's what it's saying on my thing. So, I will take you off remove spotlight. We can see that. Can we just put a thumbs up for the slideshow? Excellent. Thanks, Anna. Awesome. All right. So with the lead legacy leverage, as you've been hearing over this time we've been together, is you get a chapter in the book. The chapter in the book is worth $5,000. When I've published any book, this is the price that is retail price, $5,000. Then you get to market your book, which is an additional $5,000. And we have a team in Bali that will help you with the back end of this. I've also got another testimonial from Jaden, and I hope you guys can hear this. So let me just see that.
G'day, it's Jaden here. I just want to share my heartfelt thank you to everything that the Alicia has been doing. I had so many dreams about becoming an author, but had no idea where to start, how to do it, how to even write or anything like that. I just knew I had a story that I needed to get out. Now, working with Alicia and enjoying one of her incredible books absolutely changed my life. And what really blew me away most of all is that when I first started, I was really nervous. I didn't know what to do. Alicia was so caring, so helpful, really guided me in the coaching and how to do it, how to write it, was supportive the whole way through the journey so that I got to produce my first chapter inside a book, become a published author, and really increase my credibility as a coach and as a professional as well. So if you've got a story that you know needs to be shared and so you can support other people, then please, I highly recommend go with Alicia. She's absolutely incredible. Her passion is second to none. Her ability to support you is absolutely incredible. And it's a journey that you'll never, ever regret.
Thanks, Jaden. Now this doesn't want to, here we go. So these are some of the things that you can do with your book. And I thought I would share more posts and what people have been doing right across the world. I know Rebecca Prince was in Gratitude, A Journey of the Soul in the middle there. And she has a massive journey. She's actually run for politics like myself. I said that she's crazy just like me. And she became an author as well. She didn't think she would be able to do it, and she just took the leap of faith and did it. On the left there, Terry's there. I did find the picture of you, Terry, at the Mind, Body, Spirit Festival back in 2023. And Terry has shared her journey and shared her story on what opportunities that has led for her. On the right, Santi Ciricini, she lives over in Perth. She was a part of, I'm pretty sure, 2 of my collaborative books, so Gratitude and Forgiveness. And more recently, she has just published her own book this year and now is speaking on international platforms. In particular, her culture is Indonesian. So she speaks with a lot of Indonesian companies and helps them with kindness, gratitude in her world. Anna Baylis, who's on the left here, she was a former Olympian. She came in on Gratitude, A Journey of the Soul. She was actually in the 2000 Olympics. She did mountain bike riding. I found her story so interesting. So she's traveled the world, and she was able to get a book into a bookstore and do some book signings. So it's amazing what these books can actually do for your profile, what they can actually do for you, and how it leverages your profile. I also had Pluni, she's a happiness coach and also does yoga as well. And she gave her parents her book. She was so proud that she gave her parents a book. And then on the next one over, people started to trickle through their orders. And when I see people's faces and how happy they are that people are purchasing their book, their chapter, reading their story, reading the stories of others, it's priceless. You can't purchase that. It's no price on that. And then Tasha on the right there, she went crazy with self-love, loving your soul, and was meeting up with friends, family, doing book signings, getting them into bookstores, and sold all of her books within the first couple of days, and continues to sell books, and went from working in a factory in a warehouse to now she's working and doing leadership herself in her communities. So her journey has been a bit of a 2-year journey, and the opportunities with her and her leadership skills. She resides in the USA, in Texas, and I'm so proud of the journey that she's had, because she came to me very shy, not sure, not very confident, to now becoming this very confident leader in her community, and just watching her shine and break through all the trauma that she had, because there was a lot of grief, a lot of grief in her world. She had a best friend die by cancer. She went through that whole process, and grief is really hard. It's really hard to overcome. And she saw coaches, holistic healers, and she shares the power of loving yourself and then loving others, and has a massive message, and now is leading her communities. I'm really proud of her. And then, as you can see here, Tintin, she was able to get her book into a holistic health service, yoga studio, and local bookstores to get her message out. She now is doing sound healing. She got out of the corporate space and is doing corporate workshops in the wellness space. And I'm pretty sure she's coming to Bali next week or this week. And she's doing some sound healing events as well. And she's speaking on some stages as well. So that first stepping stone has allowed her to open up the opportunities to then go into these different platforms for her to share her story. Lisa also created flyers with QR codes so people could purchase, and she also dropped it off at her local early childhood service. So families could see these stories that were written in there, because sometimes when you're a parent, you put your children first instead of yourself first. And so her message was very powerful and very strong. And now she's doing some wonderful things with her local government and business groups and getting paid to do her work that she was doing. She was going from being not paid and doing a lot of free work to now getting those 5, 10, 20, 30K jobs and opportunities and contracts for her. And she is just elevating. And then Lowena actually found one of our books in a local spiritual store in Bendigo, which I had no idea about, but someone posted it to me. Have no idea how it got there, who put it there, how it even got there, but the messages are out there. And this is the power of a book and where a book can actually show up. And even more, like Balboa Press, which is a division of Hay House and also is affiliated with Penguin Publishing House as well. Penguin Publishing House has purchased Hay House, and so they're all affiliated with each other. And Balboa Press was able to share one of my posts on their Facebook account, which has 40,000 people on their Facebook account, which then allows people to see that as well. I've even had people get tattoos of self-love on their legs. Where this book takes you, you never know. People get it printed on them too. Friends sharing it on their Facebook. You can see gratitude, a journey of the soul in the middle, and forgiveness, healing of the soul. And I'm really grateful because this Peter Sewell is a coach. He travels the world. He shares the messages everywhere in third world countries everywhere, and will share these messages and the stories that go through there. And Ursh, it was in forgiveness, healing of the soul, and also self-love, loving your soul. And her face, as you can see on the right there, she was so happy. And she runs a women's wellness centre, so a fitness studio in Auckland, in New Zealand, and it's the longest women's gym in New Zealand. So it's been running for over 25 years now. She does some phenomenal work in terms of the personal development space and helping women with their health, in particular now menopause and all of that sort of jazz. And Pluni in the middle, she was just so ecstatic with getting her book. Like I said, the happiness there, being able to achieve this, you can just see happy people are, just like my friend on the right here, on the left here, Jeff. When he got his book in his hand, he was ecstatic. And he shares his message through his own business called Soul Survivor and helps people on their spiritual and personal development journey. So what does this actually do? It's 6 months access with me and a private Facebook group that I have. There's online modules within the group. I've created guidelines in there on how to articulate a chapter in a book, what the process is. I have some of the other books in there. So I have the 3 other books in there so you can read other people's books. And it's a place where you can share videos, posts if you're stuck, and also to give announcements on where we're at in terms of the book writing journey. So the Lead Legacy Leverage co-author book will get you the chapter in the book, which includes editing, formatting the book, publishing the book, which is your $5,000. And there's also bonus content for you guys. So surprise content will be coming out and popping up everywhere for you guys to absorb. So I'll do some live recordings. I'll also get some guest speakers in because I'm sure some of my old crew would love to share some of the stuff that they've been doing. I'll also be doing some webinars, free webinars, educational webinars for you guys. So then that way you can build your skills in terms of becoming an author. And if you are, a lot of people who do become an author do want to become a speaker as well. So I'll share some insights into speaking as well. There'll be freebies and also online training modules, as I mentioned before. So I want to hand it over to Anna, who's going to share a bit about what she does. And I'd love to bring her to the spotlight. And I'll
Hello. Hey, Alicia, can you please stop sharing your slides for me for a sec? Would be amazing. Hi, everybody. Can we please just give Alicia a big round of applause here? She has been absolutely phenomenal. And I also really want to acknowledge Terry. Terry, it was such a joy to listen to you share. How incredible was it to hear someone's journey? And you can really hear the passion, like the passion from Terry's heart that we just comes through from the very beginning. I've actually put a link to your book, Terry, that's on Amazon into the chat, just in case anybody would like to lean in. And the part that's really incredible. So as I mentioned earlier, I've got a company. It's called Launcher. We are a launch marketing agency, and really, what brings me the most amount of joy is supporting people just like yourselves to be more visible, to really help you build up, from your end, like from a business perspective, really help you build your reputation so that you can really make more revenue. And on the flip side of that, really support you to make a bigger impact and a bigger difference in the world. Yeah. And my jam is really all around how can we leverage what it is that we're putting out there and really multiply that into the world. And today's world is so connected. Just here today, like right here today, we have people in 3 different countries. Yeah, right here online, we've got people, we're sitting in Indonesia, we've got people here from New Zealand, we've got people here from Australia. And the thing that saddens me is when people do not leverage the beautiful opportunities that come out. And so what we really want to ensure is that not only do you have the opportunity to share what's in your heart and, put that into a collaborative book with other people who are just like yourselves, but then really be able to have that legacy out there. So what we like to support people with and what we're really good at, and you can see we've got the team here, is really then looking at how we can turn your actual story into your digital campaign. So how can we have a landing page that is yours on your site with your content and your information on there? How can we leverage that into, email marketing content, one, to drive more people to actually invest in purchasing your book with your content, because this is a collaborative book, right? So imagine it's yourself and 10 other people in this book, but we want to ensure that your part has value for yourself. So what would a page look like for you on your site? What would it look like to have an email campaign driven to help you sell more of your books, to be more visible? How can we leverage your chapter, and position you as the shining star across your social so that we can make a bigger impact and a bigger growth for you? And then how can we build your visibility and credibility, making sure that it doesn't end when your book gets launched. Yeah. So how can we ensure that you're seen and heard by the right audience, the people that will make a difference for you? Because, other people in the book are also important, but so are you. And what I find, I just want to check in, who are in this room are those heart-centered people that have a tendency of going, oh, you know what? I'll just let others shine and I'm just going to sit back because, it's easier that way. Yeah, if that's the type of person that you are, I highly encourage you to learn how to step out of that mindset because you also matter. And the beautiful part is when you allow somebody to help you matter, it stops being a I'm not good enough issue and starts being a what do I need to do in order to support these people to help me shine brighter? And that's really something that we want to ensure that we do. And then the final part there is making sure that you're actually opening the doors, so that you do have the opportunity to be the speaker, to be asked to, go and share your story, to have the opportunities like, Alicia has had, like Terry has had, like we saw all of those amazing people have, where they've got the opportunity to speak. They've got the opportunity to be visible online. They've got the opportunity to go and sell their products or services and really have a bigger impact on the lives of others and a bigger impact on their business. Yeah. So we're really there to support that side of things. And so for those that are looking to really leverage, some might be, some might not be, but for those that are looking to really leverage, then there is an opportunity here to really have some, done for you book campaigns to help build that visibility, that credibility, and ensure that it's actually converting for the purposes of what it is that you need. So, we do have some pricing around this. So we do have the opportunity what it would cost to market your books. That's really looking at how do we get all of your online assets moving forwards, and then how can we make sure that you've got a big voice with your social media. And these are pricing, but obviously, because you're here today, Alicia is going to share an opportunity of how this is going to, be compounded. So if you make decisions for yourself today, there are obviously options that we can honor you with, but we want to make sure that you know that you've got options, from I want a chapter in a book because this is where I want to dip my feet into this, or maybe you've done this previously and it hasn't actually gotten you to where you want to be and you're ready to take the next step, as Terry has, and she's written, 30 books or something by the sound of it now. So she's really making a big impact. So, maybe this is your time to make that impact as well. So I'm going to just leave that there for you. If that is something that you might want to do, you can chat to Alicia. She'll let you know how to do that shortly.
And if you guys want to put in the chat box that you're interested, we can give you a link to share. So then that way you can get in touch with us. We are doing qualification calls as well to see if you qualify to be in the book, because sometimes people think they have a story but it doesn't yet fit. So we want to make sure that we look after you and that you're not spending your money and then you're not getting the best outcome for you or for this opportunity. But there will be more opportunities as well. So I do want to do that precursor. So with this as well, I'll just get to the next slide. So as you can see with Lead Legacy Leverage, you've got the chapter in the book, you've got the marketing your book, social media and marketing campaign, and also bonus content. So there's about a total value of 20,000 plus in there. There are two options for people to opt in. Most people come to me not wanting everything and they just want the chapter in the book. So I've given that opportunity for you guys to either have the chance to have the book and the marketing because you don't want to do the marketing. So this is where me and the team will come in, as Anna has explained. There's a total value of over $20,000 there. You are actually going to be saving over $10,000. And today I'm marking that at $997 for you guys. If that doesn't sound like something you want to opt into, or it is something you want to opt into, just add in a comment below in the chat box. I'm happy to have a conversation with you guys. Otherwise, if you just want the chapter and the chapter alone, it's a total value of $12,000 plus. You'll save over $7,000. And today I'm doing that for $4,997. So it's up to you what you actually want to do for yourself, whether your story does matter. And I know some people in here have a story, want to produce it, want to get it out there. I've produced over 30 books myself. Terry's also, by the sounds of things, over 30 books as well. We both know what opportunities present when you do have a book and go run with it, and what it can do for you to elevate you, for you to become that authority figure. So there's also a bonus offer, and I want to offer this as well. So there will be 3 free coaching sessions. So one-to-one coaching sessions with me on crafting your message. So whether you want to speak on a TEDx or you want, and I'm actually going to be speaking on TEDx. I know someone said that I'm a TEDx speaker. I will be speaking on TEDx in September with St. Mary's Maryborough for TEDx Youth. I will be speaking on all things gratitude, and the theme is it's more than just saying thank you. So I never thought that gratitude would get, I didn't think I'd be building a business and a whole legacy around gratitude. When I tell people that I have a company around gratitude, they're like, that is so cool. where it can take you, what it can do for you is absolutely amazing. And like I said, I've spoken at Mind, Body, Spirit festivals. I've also spoken at the Queensland Country Women's Association conferences, United Voice, which is a union for early childhood educators, and spoken on their stages in the industry. And I've also spoken and emceed at real estate conferences and also Zonta International Women. So really predominant, really big organizations to get my message out and share my story and connect with like-minded people. So you get over $12,000 value for as little as $192 per week if you choose the bottom end program. And here you get to lead, leverage, and legacy, and leave your legacy. So mastering yourself, using your story, and leaving your mark in the world. And I've added a couple of pictures of some of the online book launches that I've done. One of the things that I will promise you guys is that we will have an online book launch. So we celebrate, come together, share our stories together, and you get your 5 to 10 minutes to share your story in an online webinar just like this. The power of this is awesome. You can then cut bits out, put them as scissor reels for yourself, whatever you want to do with it. I leave the whole session there for people to download through YouTube. I put it up on YouTube, Facebook, and you get the chance to share that around everywhere. So I just want to take the time. We are wrapping up nice and early today, which is nice. So I'm not going to take up too much time, but I want to put it back to you guys. And I want to ask you guys, is there any questions, queries? Are you curious? Do you want to ask me or Anna anything right now to maybe clear the air or help you guys out on making this decision for you? Let me know if anyone puts any hands up.
Who's booked a call with Alicia? Like, who can actually see themselves just having an opportunity to write a book, a chapter in a book? Like, you've made it here, you're here for a reason and a purpose. Alicia has a really solid plan for, what getting a thumbs down. For who, for what type of book she really wants to create a collaborative environment in. So, it's not a just buy your chapter. It really is around having a conversation. So I highly encourage you. We'll be getting in touch anyway, but I highly encourage you, click that link, find a time that works for you, and just have a chat. Something brought you here today. Like, so whatever it is, something has brought you here so that you are thinking about doing this. So as you can see, she's done this with so many people. Like, it was just like testimonial after testimonial. Like, seriously, Alicia, how many? But she's done this with so many people. So if this is something that you're thinking about, there's like no harm in having a conversation, and you can see the impact it has, whether it's on your heart and soul, like it's had for Terry, or whether it's, on your business, or whether it is for the impact of others. So please just click the link, book a time. She was a great person to chat to. She's very good at helping get those things out of your mind. And then, if it's the right thing for you, great. If it's not the right thing for you now, that's absolutely fine as well. But don't leave here thinking, oh, maybe I should have booked and now I'm not sure what's going to happen next. Yeah. So let's just give us a yes, I'm going to book, I'm going to have a chat, and then you can make decisions based on that, because you can't get straight in anyway, is basically what I have to share on that.
Well, since we've got no questions or comments or feedback, looking forward to my appointment.
Yeah, great.
So yes, we will chat with you if you want to sit on it. Copy the links if you need it. We will follow up with emails and messages with you all. And we're also going to be sending out emails and messages to those that couldn't attend. I have put this on YouTube live, so I'll share it on, I'll share this link. So if people want to watch the replay, they can watch the replay if you've missed out on any information or came in late, if you missed the beginning part. But I want to take the time to say thank you to each and every one of you for taking time out of your evening to meet here, to listen to all the stories, to listen with myself and Anna. Anna, thank you so much for coming in this evening. I know when we spoke in Melbourne, we're like, let's do this. Let's do what book are we going to do together? And it's like self-leadership. I don't think self-leadership gets communicated enough. There's a lot of leadership books out there, but leading yourself is so important, and it is a topic of conversation that needs to be talked about more. So I'll leave this with you guys to think, but if you do have a story and your heart desires and wants to share on a platform, I know what this has done for me. And sharing my truth and speaking my story and sharing that on many platforms with many human beings and having that connection and sharing that love and transforming many people's lives. You never know who you're going to transform. All I wanted to do was change one person's life. And as you've seen through all of those testimonies, like when I did this exercise, actually getting this all together, I went, oh, shoot, I have really done a lot. And it's through the work that you do that this can happen for you too. So lead, legacy, and leverage, and let's share your story. Let's share your story that matters. Your story does matter. And I look forward to chatting with you guys all really soon. Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye. Bye,
See you.
everyone. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah, I love how it does that. Hello, hearts coming out of the heart. Thanks, technology. Thanks so much, Teresa and Rosie and Kim. We're looking forward to chatting with you. Thanks, Moon. If you guys have any questions, ask. Otherwise, please feel free to jump off and we'll be here waiting for you to say goodbye so we can hold space for you.